I mean, did you see stuff with other parents? With you in, you know, when you were on the sidelines and,
I
you
saw
know, as
so
a
much
psychotherapist as well, you must be at times
crazy.
like,
Oh my God, crazy and also humbling. I mean, first of all, there's some things I think the academies can do a little bit better. I remember in one retain and release, and the boys must have been 14 or 15. And one parent was convinced that their child was going to get the extended condom, right? The retain. And they didn't. And I don't know how it happens in your academies, but at Tottenham at the time, you could get a phone call, you could have a meeting, or you could get an email, if I remember correctly. Those are the three ways that you could find out. And they had opted for the meeting, and they'd gone in for the meeting. And then in the meeting, because I think they thought, you know, we're going to celebrate. There's a retain. And in the meeting, they said, actually, your child, you know, we're going to release your child. And the parent said something along the lines of, well, you know, why? He's very good. And they were like, well, we believe that actually, in terms of the potential of growth, they've hit a ceiling. We're talking about 14, 15-year-old. I mean, as a concept, that's just crazy. But, you know, put aside my own opinion, maybe as professionals, they have a better understanding, a better judgment. Their point was, this is as far as your child is able to progress. Therefore, we believe that there's no, you know, this is it stops here for them, the journey. And the parent kept pushing and pushing and pushing. Can you explain why? And does he need to work on his left foot, or does he need to work on his right foot, or does he need to work on the fitness, or does he work, you know, the tactical awareness? And then eventually the coach just said, listen, he's just not special. He's just not special. And that phrase absolutely destroyed the parent, bearing in mind that the child was in the meeting with them. I mean, that surely, again, that I think academies can be responsible for. Train your staff. No child should hear that at that age. They put so much time, love, and effort. That is literally sweat and tears gone into that, right? So I think things like that are very good. And I can only have compassion and sympathy for that. The other extreme was, I remember before they were formally offered a contract, so they must have been 7 or 8, right? We're talking the size of a newt. I mean, it's like an embryo going to football practically. And it used to be a Friday night. So, you know, it was a Friday night traffic on the M25 to get there. And it was deep.
oh,
It was a big,
already I feel for you.
it was a nightmare. After school, end of the week, the tears, the tantrums. Oh my God, it was exhausting. And I remember watching this father, and he was dressed, very well, it's winter. So you've got the slush everywhere. He had cream Timberland boots, cream jeans, cream jumper, cream coat, and a cream hat. Basically, first of all, I'm like, I'm in awe of this.
Yeah.
I'm like, right, so beautifully dressed, not a speck of brown slush on you. This and also how brave. I mean, that is great to turn up wearing that. And you know, so I of course I was like, oh my name's Alejandra, you know, how are you? And who are you? What can you teach me? Because you are like a whoa. You know, you have really got it together if you're rocking up on a Friday evening looking like this. And then he started talking. And the more he talked, the more I realized I could literally feel my body moving backwards, right? And he was like, well, yes, you know, again, we're talking embryo size. And he was talking about how at the previous weekend, he had taken his son to walk up and down different car dealerships to look at what car they would like to buy in the future. We're talking Ferraris, Maseratis, Lamborghinis. We're talking like, I'm not talking like the first starter car. I'm talking like, you know, you can work a whole lifetime and never
get it. Apply to the house car.
And he was like, no, we've worked it out. And then, you know, so next weekend, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go to look at we're going to drive around some nice neighborhoods and look at houses so that he could park. And I'm just like, oh my God, I mean, this is delusional, but how dangerous. Now that his son came for 2 more Fridays night and then he was dropped. And I was so heartbroken, not for the lack of this beautiful home and the absence expensive car. But that poor child would have felt, whether it was verbalized to him or not, would have felt the enormous sense of failure. He hadn't even started. He hadn't even started. And there is a serious danger in that. And that's just toxic.